gentlemen, welcome back to the People's Choice Podcast. And if this is your first time seeing the show, welcome. I hope you really enjoy this episode right here because I know I'm going to enjoy it. So I know you guys better enjoy it because I have an extremely talented band. I got two of the members of Breaking Serenity. I am so excited to have them. I love their music. I know I've talked with you, Niko. I got Niko and AJ with us here. And I'm telling you guys, love your music, and I can't wait for everyone to not just hear your music but also get to know you guys more and really the backstory and current projects, future projects, like the whole 9 yards, man. I'm so excited to have you. So break Serenity, y'all. I'm searching for the things that I need in my life. I'll be fine. They will all see I'm okay. Why do you always make me the enemy? Why do you always make me the enemy? Why do you always have to get the best of me? You never leave again. Pictures on the wall, I describe them all. Happiness forgot, we will never see again. Run far away from here, hiding inside what coulda, shoulda, never been. Searching for the answers, hiding inside.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
And thank you and Blue Rhymez Entertainment for having us, man. Awesome.
Yeah, man, no problem, man. I mean, I've read up on you guys' article from your music. We've talked multiple times about how much I love, In the End, Under It All. I mean, I'm just excited to have you guys here. It's truly an honor.
Thank you, man. Same here, man.
Appreciate it, man. It's so good to hear that.
Yeah, no problem. So whenever I do my interviews, I really like to always kind of take it from the beginning. And I'm just going to take it back to when you guys were teenagers, when you guys were really just first starting out. So let's talk about that. What inspired you guys to pursue music?
You know what?
Funny story, actually. So me and Niko, we actually, we've been friends for about a good year and a half now. We met at a job, and we're actually based out of Corona, California. So we're out here in California, and we were working at this job together. And I remember it was just quick, we were working, and then we were just talking about music. I was like, hey, bro, what bands you like? And he was telling me these bands. I was like, oh, we listen to the same music. And I was like, yeah. And it was just a quick conversation, oh, I used to be in a band. And he's just like, really? And he's like, well, what did you used to do? And I was like, I used to do vocals. And he's just like, oh, I got all these tracks, man, that have no vocals. He's like, you want to check them out and stuff? And I was like, if you want, bro, it's totally up to you. It's your music. You want to send it to me? And he's like, yeah, just check it out. So I remember I got home, I checked my email, I saw that one song, I listened to it, and I hit him up. And I was like, we have to do something, bro. This music is insane. We got to do something. Whatever it is, whatever you can think of, we got to do it, bro.
That's how the current day got started. But yeah. But what about your earlier projects, man?
For my earlier projects, I used to be in, when I was about 18, because I'm 24 right now. So when I was about 18, I joined this band based out of Van Nuys. And it was called Subliminal, and it was a mixture of death and thrash music. And it was pretty cool. We played some pretty heavy shows. We were basically a really big live band. We didn't have anything recorded, but we just had, every time we showed up, we came with the pits, we came with the energy. That's all I remember from that band. And then we kind of had a falling out, and then I kind of started up my own project called Basilisk, which is more of a hardcore beatdown band. That one's still on the back burner. It's just me right now, but I got a couple songs in the mix. And then my recent thing is Breaking Serenity, what I've been doing with Niko, and it actually took off a lot faster, and this music's insane. I did not expect it to be what it is right now, but I'm super happy with what we're pushing now.
Yeah, man. And then for me, I'm starting with Cries of Heaven and Hell. I think I showed you our former group. Oh, yeah, we started that at about age, I think 15. We were playing at the Whisky. Yeah, probably 15 years old. I'm pretty sure we had our parents had to be there because we were so young at the time. But yeah, that project, that's how we got all of our, I got all my show experience, all my contacts. I did that for about 5-6 years, and then that project eventually ended up being Breaking Serenity, and most of the members kind of carried on to that project.
And that is awesome. And yeah, like from the report that, you know, I was reading on you guys that you sent, and you guys are like 15 years old just playing out there, and you actually like met some and actually played with some pretty big bands too.
Yeah, you know, I was just talking to my old guitarist about it the other night from Cries of Heaven and Hell. And I was like, did you ever process like who we were playing with at that age? And like, she's like, I think about it all the time, you know? Yeah, no, our first show was with the female fronted metal band Kittie. Our third show was with All That Remains. Mm-hmm. You know, we were, you know, like this is like back in the, you know, day when those guys were just like hitting their prime. And we didn't think anything of it. You know, we would play these shows and go back to school the next day, not thinking anything of it, you know? No photos, no, you know, I think MySpace was big around, you know, was big at the time, but we weren't thinking anything of it, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what was that experience like? Because I mean, like we said, they got so big, but like you said, you're so young, you didn't realize, you know, how things would have been. Yeah,
yeah, no, it was a cool experience, you know. But like it's like I said, it was funny, you know. We do these cool shows and then just kind of carry on with our lives. but no, it was a really, you know, we carried on a lot of experience from that, you know. And then we ended up, I think towards the end of that project, we ended up playing shows with we shared the, believe it or not, we shared the stage with Bring Me the Horizon, Suicide Silence. I mean, those guys, I mean, it sounds like I'm bullshitting you telling this now, but, you know, 'cause those guys are just, you know, they're pretty big now, you know? So it was awesome experiences, good times, you know?
Definitely, man. And that's awesome. And like you mentioned, you guys were, you know, Cries of Heaven and Hell, and then changed to Breaking Serenity. What made you guys change the name to Breaking Serenity?
Well, the project that particular project kind of had broken off. And we had taken a small break from music for a little, like I think under a year, and then we just kind of developed a new project. And at the time, the twin brothers, Greg Garcia and Nick Garcia, we just naturally carried on together, and then we just started that project and just started jamming. And actually, I think our first song that we created was "Away From Here" at the time. But yeah, that was our first song that would become Breaking Serenity. So
love that song too.
Yeah, great song. You know, yeah,
it is.
You know, you know, the funny thing is, it's such a simple powerhouse song. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, if I can show you the way that song is played, it's very simple, but it's just when that chorus hits, man, it's just Almighty God, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm truly, like I said, I love you guys' song, and I mean, it's hard to say like who it reminds me of, but like maybe you guys could chime in, like who were some of the bands and, you know, artists that you guys looked up to that you kind of like, you know, like influenced you guys.
Well, for that particular song, Away From Here, so musically it was kind of a creative influence from Nirvana, but when we got in the studio with Mike, we were going for a, like, it sounds bizarre, but he was going for like John Legend vocals and like Nirvana. So we were trying to combine like soul and rock influence, and it worked though. It really did work.
Awesome, man, for real. And that's what I love about you guys' music. It's like you're not scared to try to like combine, you know, different genres and bring them together. I mean, that's truly awesome.
Yeah, you know what? So when we did the Hypocrite EP, it's really it's a little bit of everything, but we kind of did that on purpose. We want to showcase a little bit of our backgrounds, and then going forward we'll be a little more serious and metal tone. It'll contain a little more consistent flow.
We gotta show a sprinkle of what we can do. We're just not all metal. We can go through the range and still show like what we're about.
Yeah, but you know, truly, I like. It's hard to say because when we pitch different songs with people, we kind of always pitch different genres when we pitch these songs, because like, you know, there's it's a little bit of everything, you know. So I would say it's hard to say like we're metal, hard rock, you know. I kind of hate, I don't like being like titled to anything. I just kind of like I just kind of like just doing my thing, you know.
Definitely. I hate labels. Like I hate when people try to just like label me or put a ceiling on me, like, oh, you only interview this type of people. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. I can interview any type of person, any background. I don't care if they're a garbage man or freaking the president of the United States. I'll show you, you know, like, and actually that's why I'm so honored to have you guys. You guys are actually my first rock band I really got to
thank you, man.
To interview, man. So this is awesome for me, man, for real. So I know you talked about you guys were together for about 5-6 years and then decided to break up. So like what factors led to you guys breaking up?
I think it was just creative differences and just natural evolving, there was no hard feelings. It just kind of separated.
Awesome.
Yeah, there was no bad blood or anything. It just happened naturally.
Awesome. Okay, that's awesome because sometimes you hear these stories about like, oh, this motherfucker fucked up, or there's something of it. It's like you guys are like, no, we just naturally split up. So that
I know that's rare to hear. Sorry, no gossip there.
No, that's good. That's all good, man. If it's gossip or no gossip, it's actually good to hear that because I hate when you hear the stories of like these bands or singing group or even boy bands from like the 90s. They do so well and then like something happened, no matter if it was like money or drugs or whatever, and they break up and it's just like heartbreaking. But for you guys not to have any issues like that, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, so surprisingly not.
Yeah. And after you guys split up, it's been almost about 10 years before you guys started really making music again. Like
from the gap between so there was after Cries of Heaven and Hell, there was a small like 6-month gap. Then we started Breaking Serenity. We went really hardcore with that project. We had everything lined up. Everything was good to go. Just due to some factors that came into place. We took a unknowingly long hiatus from music, and then from when he started the interview, that's kind of how it all came back together again. So
so shout out to you, AJ, man.
Honestly, I really gotta give this guy all the credit, man, because sadly I'll have to admit I was in a weird funk in my life. I just it's sad to say, but there was a part of me that like for some reason because I'm a really all or nothing type of guy, so I just didn't want to be involved in music. I just like because it's I know it's such a part of my life. I just couldn't handle not doing music, so I just kind of tuned myself out and went the route, the typical route that we all go in, starting families, working the 9 to 5 and just becoming just living life, But somehow I think everything's meant to be. Certain things happen in life, and your passions just kind of find your way back to you.
To this day, I feel like that conversation that we have of just asking like, oh, what bands do you like? And what bands do I like? And then just that whole conversation that build up to what we are right now. I still look back at it and I think it's pretty dope because like for me, like I was just out of a band for maybe like 3 years. And I was like, I got to get back in. I got to do something, And I had my side project Basilisk that I was working on really hard, but it's hard to find musicians that stay consistent, especially in California. Everybody in California is a musician. But nobody wants to put in the time. Nobody wants to put in the effort to fully get together and continue to contribute. They just want to show up, do the thing, and then that's it. But it's like, no, there's a whole lot more you got to do to it. And I think just the conversation with Niko, I can tell that he had that flame, but he just like, I just don't want to do nothing right now, but it's there. But we'll see what's up. And I was like, just send me the song. We'll go from there. And I remember I was hearing the song. I played it like 7 times. And then that's when I for sure texted him back. Like, bro, we have to do something. Like, I can hear it. I got some lyrics already. If you want to hear it tomorrow, like we'll hear it. And then like the next day, we were at lunch and we were just chilling in this car. We were just drinking some monsters and stuff and just going over lyrics. And at this point, I showed him a little snippet of my vocals, but I didn't like fully show him everything because I was like, when it comes to my vocals, I'd rather show you everything in the studio versus just like somewhere outside real quick, because everybody looks at you all weird and stuff, but especially the vocals that we do, I can't just be in the parking lot growling at it.
I'll say you want to give us some vocals for the podcast.
Literally, so I remember we got to the studio, we played the song, we did some vocals, and then I had I was facing like this. I did my vocals. Greg and Niko were behind me. I took out the headphones. I turned around. I just saw the whites in their eyes, like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, here we go. And I was like, play the rest of that song. Yeah. And then after that, I just remember hearing my voice on that song with just the drums and then the guitar and just the little spaces where everything just comes in and crashes harder. And I was like, this is what we got to do. This is like, fuck anything else that we were trying to do and stuff. This is where we're starting. We're starting from right here, this point on, bro. And then he was talking to Greg, and then they were going back and forth. And then we were like, all right, we'll try another song. We'll go from there. And I remember my friends in my other bands, I'm still really close with them. The main band is Subliminal.
Mhm.
I remember talking to my bassist from that band, and he heard just 30 seconds of it. And I remember he stopped and he's like, if you're going to do any type of music, you have to do it with this band. This band is going to take you somewhere, bro. He's like, I don't know what it is, like, but I can hear some gears moving, bro. So just keep going with it. So then I remember the next day I was like, Niko, if you have any other tracks, send them to me. He's like, I think I have like 3 or 4. And I was like, all of them, send me all of them. I'm going to start lyrics for all of them, bro. And I opened up my notes, each song I had right there, and I had lyrics for all of them. And I was just like, there was just so much potential that was just coming out, all these lyrics coming out of the woodworks, just out of nowhere and stuff. And he was going through some things, and then I was coming out of going through some things. So I was like, this is the best momentum we have, bro. Let's just, everything that we're going through right now, let's put it into these songs. Let's make something. And you could tell, like, me being in the studio, like all my feelings I was putting into the lyrics and all the songs, because they were mostly most of them were all of Niko's lyrics, but I had to put the feeling to him. He would explain to me, he's like, I have this song and this is the concept. And I was like, all right, bro, like for this song, what were you going through? Like, how were you feeling, bro? Like, what led up to it? Like, how were you feeling in between and this and that? And then like, it got a little personal, but I was like, I need this personalness so I can get the feeling. And for me, bro, one of my biggest influences when it comes to my vocals is Chester Banks. Chester is my all-time dope. Like, R.I.P. my boy. I'm sad I'm never gonna get to the music with him, but in his presence, bro, I was just like, every time I would hear a Linkin Park song and hear Chester scream, all you heard was emotion. Through his screams, I felt like it saved me in a lot of situations. So I was like, I need to put that feeling, that charisma. I need to put all that energy that I feel from Chester. I got to do this for Breaking Serenity. And I remember we would be in the studio and we would do one scream like 4 different times. And it's not what I want. It's not what I want. It's not the feeling I want. It's not the feeling I want. And Nico would be like, yeah, bro, that was good. And then we do it again. He's like, that one was good, bro. I like the last one, but this one's cool too. And we do it again. He's like I said, the first one's still cool, but the 7th one's, it's almost there. And then I had to capture every emotion that he was feeling. I had to put it like through me, and I had to put it in my screams. And then once I felt like everything was what we needed to be, I was like, all right, cool, we can go forward with the song. And that's most of the songs we have right now just have so much feeling, so much tension that I hope everybody else feels like the tension that we were feeling. That's what we put into this music.
Yeah, the Hypocrite EP, that's a really personal EP, actually, man. If you read the lyrics, if you really listen to the music, we're not telling stories, man. That's pretty much what we were going through and how we were feeling. And it's funny too, I'm not really a songwriter when it comes to lyrics, honestly. But when it came to this EP, I'll tell you, when you're going through shit and you want to write a song, it's pretty fucking easy, man. You know?
And that's so true.
Under It All, Hypocrite. I mean, those lyrics probably came out of my emotions in one day. I just went on my iPhone, went to notes, and just literally play the track, express how I felt, and hand it to this guy and said, let's do it.
I was like, all right, bro, I think I can handle it. And then I would read the lyrics, and I'm like texting him back, crying, like, bro, I feel everything.
That is so true, because like when I was listening to Under It All, like the first time, I remember I think I just got into a pretty big argument with it was either, I probably say a family member. I don't think it was my girlfriend at the time, but it was a family member, and I was like, what the fuck, man? And I remember just listening to it. I was like, holy shit, like this is great. I listen to that song now before I go to work. When I'm going to the gym, like I am not bullshit. That song just gets me like in a mood, man. Yeah, man. Like I'm telling you, man. Like I really love, and I love the vocals of it too. Like I literally hit the repeat button at least 3 or 4 times before I even switch to the next one, the next song on my list. Man, I love it.
So that song, we before we released it, I thought about producing the vocals like a little more, but putting a little more creative input on it. But there was like a little part of it that had like a punk element that was just like a really raw. Like I liked it. We're just like, let's not overthink it. It's good. Let's roll with it. It's really in your face. The lyrics are raw. They're emotional. I just said, we're done. Let's roll with it.
Definitely.
And and that song was kind of about a pretty much mental breakdown of what I was going through at the time too. I'm just kind of I kind of just felt really used emotionally by a lot of people at that time, and I kind of lost my shit on a lot of people, and I got kind of labeled as a bad guy at the time. So, but it's funny when you're going through stuff like that, it's no one ever seems to ask you, "Hey, are you okay?" You know, it's your actions are just usually blamed, and you're a dick, you know.
Definitely.
Versus saying, you know, "Hey, are you okay?" Or ever wonder what that guy's going through, you know. So that song was just kind of a journal of a mental breakdown, basically.
Definitely, man. And I love it, especially just like you literally feel the presence as soon as you like cut it on. I gotta put that into the video for my peeps to really like feel it. Like, I mean, like, because it is.
Oh, and you know, awesome, and that's what it sounds like a downer song, but you know, but the chorus, that's where we pick it up again. The whole message of the song is, you know, hey, tomorrow it's gonna be okay. You know.
Yes.
There's always it's a positive outcome on the song. You know. A lot of our songs really are inspired from, you know, trauma and just being down on yourself with emotional times. But the message is our message is always to overcome things. You know, it's not our message is not being the victim. You know, we like to.
There's always sun at the end of every day.
Yeah,
man.
you know. So.
Amen to that, man. For real, definitely is. So like I was gonna ask you, you know, with you taking such, you know, long break before getting right back, you know, into it, was it like an adjustment? Because so much has changed within like 10 years, like within you just music in general.
It was like a full circle emotionally though, because like it's weird when you're not looking at it, you're not in it, you don't see anything that's going on, you know. But once you get back into it, you see the younger you everywhere, you know, and like you just see it's thriving, you know. You never thought to look at the scene, you know, but it's all still there, you know. It's just like it just makes you realize just gotta get back on the horse, man. You know, you just gotta jump on it, you know.
Comes back like second nature, honestly.
Yeah, you know. And I think but I don't regret the big hiatus though, because you mature a lot, you have a different view on everything, you know. You know, when you're younger, you just want someone to sign you a check and, you know, make a hit record and you think life will be good. You know, it doesn't, you know, it's.
Once you get into it and you put your whole heart into it, you realize it's not what everybody else portrays it to be. So then when you try to make it your own, you see so much more like speed bumps and more things that you wouldn't see if you were like, say, in your teens trying to make a band and stuff like it. You really have to go a good 5 years to be in the scene and then be out of the scene and then get back into it to be like, oh yeah, like what I was doing was not the right approach for anything. Yeah. And like now that we're doing it in this approach, like everything is so much more differently. Like I learned a lot from Niko. Like I think he was in his hiatus for 10 years and then I was in mine for mine for a good 4 years. And when, like I said, when I was in that band, I was 18, and at the time we were playing shows for like Grim Reaper and Possess, like all up and down Sunset Strip, the Whisky Go-Go, the Roxy, the Viper Room. And it was just, I was playing these shows and I was like, man, this is dope. This is what I want. And then we stopped playing shows and we stopped doing everything. We sold our equipment and then we took the year and then I get back into everything again, the scene again with Niko. And instead of doing everything versus like showing up, playing crazy, staying afterwards, meeting everybody, and then hoping everything goes good after that. It's more like you have to market yourself. You have to put yourself in a good position. You have to show how professional you are and then start doing more stuff to where you can like present yourself in front of people. Like you have to be almost like internet and market ready before you actually want to do something that you can make money off of, like in this sense.
Definitely.
In this sense like this.
That's some shoot. I always ask my guests like for advice to, you know, the younger generation or like for people. That was actually some great advice right there, man. For real.
The best advice is market yourself, know your worth, and present yourself with the most professionality you can possibly think of. Your image goes very, very far. And I learned that so much with Niko, and it's like I thank him a lot, honestly, because the way I was going stuff in my other band, like we still wouldn't be shit. Like we were playing good shows and we were good live, but being with Niko and seeing how we got to do everything very, very strategically and almost like you're planting a flower. Like you got to plant it and see what happens and stuff. And as soon as something pops up, you still have to wait and see what happens. Because once something pops up, you can't just jump on it because you're going to either kill the plant or you're not going to do stuff right. You're going to mess something up. But you got to be patience. And yeah, basically patience is a virtue, man. It's the best thing that I've learned in this whole process that I've been with Niko.
Awesome. That's some great advice. And I think a lot of up and coming bands or even bands that maybe feel that they're stuck should definitely, apply that, because that's some good stuff right there. And you guys definitely have done that. And, we feel you in each of your records. Like I love the Hypocrite album and, just seeing the recognition you got from Blue Rhymez Entertainment. I've seen you guys had some reviews on other platforms as well. So what was that like and that whole experience and that feeling of finally like getting that recognition, that all this hard work is paying off?
It was cool, man, because it was a short period of time. And when we first released the EP, I was just spamming the shit out of the internet, and then that's when Mariana from Blue Rhymez contacted us, and that's kind of where all that started. And Blue Rhymez and her totally gave us a lot of opportunities and kind of gave us that door to further, from everything else, So I give them a lot of respect.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Blue
Rhymez
Entertainment.
Yeah, great.
Shout out to Blue Rhymez. Thank you so much. I mean, it's crazy, honestly. Niko, when they did the article on My Voice and when they did the article on the whole album and stuff, he would text me, I got a surprise for you, but he would never tell me what it was until it's published. So I'd be like, all right, bro, like what's the surprise? And then like nothing for like a week, and I'm like, all right, maybe he forgot, maybe he got busy, he got his phone for a second. Something.
I'm like my own businessman. I'm a man of many secrets. Half the band doesn't know like what I got going on. I got things going on. I create my own schedule. I'm like, you'll know in time.
And then he just texts me out of nowhere, I got a surprise for you, and then nothing for a week or a little bit, and then I'd be at the store, or I'm just waking up, or I'm doing something with my kids, and I check my phone, and it's an article on like the songs that we did or just the album itself. And then I was just like, bro, this is, to this day, it's not sat in yet that we have articles written about our music. Like it's crazy just to think about,
Yeah.
And then
really
the one that tripped me out the most is I remember I was sleeping and I got a text and he's like, I got a surprise for you. I'm gonna send it to you in like the next couple hours. And I was like, okay, you said a couple hours, so it might be something. That night, I was sitting down, we're watching TV. I get the text, and it's an article about my voice and everything about it. And I just remember almost throwing my phone, and I was like, "You had this for so long, bro. When are you gonna tell me about this? Like, God damn it!" I called him, and I was like, "Oh, bro, I was like, this is insane." And he's just like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "It's all about you. Just enjoy it, man. You deserve it." And then he just hangs up. And I was like, "You can't just leave me like that, bro. I need to talk about this." And it's crazy because I'm from New Mexico, so all my family over there, like all my family is in New Mexico. It's just me and like my family that's right here right now, because I have 3 daughters. And so showing them the article and then showing the rest of my family and everybody just like it going all over Facebook, going all over Instagram, everybody's just posting it, and it just coming back around. It's like they're talking about me. They're in a good way though. Like everything's talking in a good way. But it's just like it's just so real to know that people actually listen to your voice and have some positive to say about it, because our music is always looked about like so like devilish, wrong. But it's just like no, we're musicians at the end of the day. It's just we're doing stuff in a different way than normal musicians normally would.
Definitely. And you guys had some really awesome collabs for your guys' project you guys are currently working on, Letters from the Pandemic. You want to speak on that? What fans could expect from this album?
Yeah, right. So right now, man, we got collabs going on everywhere. We're in Australia, New York, Italy. Where else? South Africa. Michael Bolt's another Digital Coma, another Blue Rhymez Entertainment artist. Awesome guy, by the way. Who else? And then out in Virginia too. Yeah, so recently we had to part ways with Kittie O'Connell, unfortunately, due to some just personal things that were going on in her life. No bad blood. So I was kind of trying to figure out how we were going we were going to move forward. And I did not want another, a repeat of 10 years ago. So I had to figure out what we wanted to do. So what we decided is just keep networking and collaborating. And we just everything that was written for Kittie, we were just going to outsource everything. And so that's kind of what we have going on right now. As far as what to expect, it's going to be more metal tone. We're trying to create basically Hypocrite and Away From Here, basically like those two combined throughout the whole album. So rock, metal, but it's gonna definitely be darker though. It'll be a darker tone throughout the whole album.
Everybody's gonna like these new songs, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good, man. So the current collabs though, we have Crystal Jolina, more of Mike Terry, Michael Boats from Digital Coma, Akela Simone from Virginia, and who else am I missing? Got so many. We're in talks with Chad from Code 106 as well, from Michael's old band.
Again, him just saying all these, I'm barely finding out myself. Just send me the track and get like, look, bro, this guy's on it, just add your vocals. And I'm like, well, who is this?
Yeah, that's one thing. Again, back to the whole genre thing. I love collaborating with people. I love networking. I don't like if I can get if I can work with many artists as possible, I love to do it.
Definitely. It's like bringing two worlds together, man. And I just love it, honestly. Like, no matter, even just talking about podcasting, like I'm collabing with multiple different people from different backgrounds, and music's probably, the same way, that same feeling, from one world and another world, just and I just love it, man.
And you learn a lot in the process of you guys working with each other. You will learn a lot from that artist. You learn a lot about the process and stuff, and then development wise, you learn a lot more about yourself. Just vibing off of each other, like if the vibes are there, you guys are gonna get a lot done.
Yeah. And honestly, with all these clouds right now, things are running a lot more smoothly. It's funny, we're working better and faster with people outside the country than in our compared to our hometown.
So isn't that crazy how that works, man? Like
it's so funny.
I'm not gonna lie, I've got through so many fucking people in the last 2 months, and just like, to the point where like we put the time in, and then it's just like, and then they just fucking, I don't know where the fuck they go, It's like, dude.
You'll get a message from somebody from like Australia or like New York faster than you'll get from like your dad or something that's down the street.
That's so true, man.
This Crystal Jolina, the artist I was telling you about, I met her last week on Instagram, and she sent me the stem files like 2 days ago.
Wow.
Where it's like, compared to someone down the street from me, I can't, it's just. But and I would also say too that I'm kind of intense to work with once you're like signed on, like once we're working together. Anyone who knows who works with me, like once you agree to something, I'm texting you, I'm emailing you, like we're on it. I'm on it, And I think sometimes it's like, I can admit, like it's probably too much for people sometimes, but I'm just really aggressive with the progress,
That's the way to be, man. I love Kobe, so I say that Kobe work ethic.
Yeah. So
it also goes back to like knowing your worth. Like if we're doing something, if we have an agreement and we're doing something and I'm on board and I'm already like 10 steps ahead and you're like 15 behind you, like either catch up or you're gonna get cut. Like what you signed on to. We came to agreement beforehand, and if you're not on board, then we're gonna keep going if you don't want to or not.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give this guy credit because pretty much all his vocals are done for the album, so like he's kind of off my chain. He's got the break. But no, when we were recording, man, I just thought about that the other day. I wouldn't even ask him if we could do like 5 or 6 hours if that was okay. I would text him, hey, we have a 6-hour session today. I'll see you at 6. Okay,
I'll be there.
But I didn't question if he could actually handle a 6-hour session. I got a 6-hour session. We're going in. We gotta get shit done today. But you can do it, man. That's why this guy has been there from the start for me, man. Just getting me back into music, following through the session. I mean, just literally, man, showing up and following through. That's the world right there. I mean, if anyone that can hang with me and during the process and I got to give him credit, you know.
Yeah, I remember we started without 1 hour sessions, and then we would get through that 1 hour so quick. And then
I was testing him to see how far he can hang, and then I would start abusing it.
out of nowhere, we're like, bro, we got a 4 hour session. I'm like, oh, shit, bro. I mean, all right, let me drink some tea right now, and then that 4 hours turned into 6 hour sessions. Like, all right, bro, shit, let me sleep for a second. But in the end, like just as him being like on board with me and stuff, it brought my vocals out more than I actually anticipated them to be. Like, I've discovered a lot more about my vocals with just being in the studio and stuff and pushing myself, and just instead of just being like, oh, like, you know, you're walking around the house, you're doing small growls, you're doing this, you're doing that. But when it was in the studio, it was like, I want to try something. And then once I tried it and it sounded good, but all right, let's go with it. And it's just, he would just keep pushing me. And then I was like, all right, bro, as long as you're here and I'm here and we're going to do this shit, we're going to get some shit done by the end of the session. And we just pushed out so much music. And at the end, we're like, all right, bro, I think we're going to take a break now. I was like, shit, I'm about to go hibernate, bro. We fucking pushed so far.
I'm like, all right, I'll see you next week, bro. 6 hours again.
Hey, that is awesome. That's some work ethic right there. And it's truly definitely like paying off for you guys, man, because the sky is truly the limit for how far Breaking Serenity can go. I love cool stories, and I've known, you know, you guys, I can only imagine some of the cool stories that you've been through. I know the stuff you sent me, Niko, about AJ actually had a pretty cool story and experience with Ice-T.
Ice-T.
Yeah, so like I want to know this story, man. So like, you know, for the audience that do know, Ice-T, he's a famous rapper, rocker, and actor, of course, his days in Law and Order. So yeah, let's hear about it.
Man, so that story is actually so funny how everything happened. So I was with the band Subliminal at the time, and we just got put on a show. We just got put on a bill, and we were going to open for Possessed. We were the opening band for Possessed, the 1980s band, the thrash band.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all hardcore thrashers, like to this day. Like when I'm in the pit, bro, I'm fucking shit up. Like I'm a straight up thrasher. Like I told Niko, I was like, every time I hear something, bro, and it's gonna make me thrash, I'm going all out. So when we got on the bill for Possessed, it was one of the biggest opportunities for us and stuff. And so we get onto the bill, and then we go for our sound check. And when we get there, the promoters that are with Possessed are like, yo, we're actually doing a documentary for the show for tonight, and we want you guys, instead of being the openers, we want you to be the band right before Possessed. And like we're all like I said, at the time I was 18, so I'm an 18-year-old about to be on like a sub headliner for Possessed. Like, oh man, dreams do fucking come true. Yeah. So then we're on the set and we're just chilling backstage, and Jeff Becerra's right there, and everybody else is there, and there's so many like stars from different bands. Like we had Decide there, we had Suicidal Tendencies there, we had Body Count, which is Ice-T's band. Mm-hmm. We had the guys from Municipal Waste, and just a bunch of thrash bands and stuff. It was just a big night, a big thrash night in Hollywood. And we're there and stuff, and my dad's downstairs and he's talking to some people, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go check on my dad real quick because my dad's a heavy drinker, so I just want to make sure he's okay. So I go and I check, I'm checking on him, and I'm trying to look for him and stuff. And there's a big group around him, and he's at the bar. And I was like, oh, he's doing something. He's doing something, man. Like, so I go up and I'm like, hey, what's up, Dad? And he's just like, no, I'm just talking to these people. And then he's talking to the guitarist. His name is Juan Body Count from Body Count. And he was just chatting it up and stuff. And for that show, for Subliminal, when I was the front man, I would have a red jumpsuit because one of my biggest influences when it comes to bands and stage and live performances is Slipknot. So I idolize Slipknot. Awesome. So I was in my red jumpsuit, and I walk up to them, and they're like, "Oh, we just saw you guys sound check. Like, what's up? Like, what are you guys' influences?" And we just started talking this and that. And then Juan Body Count tells me that the other guitarist is about to come, and then a couple other people from the band. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay with him. So we're just sitting there talking and stuff, and then I hear this guy come up. And everybody's like screaming for him, and the band's playing, but everybody's screaming for this guy. I'm like, who is that? And then it's Ice-T, bro. And I was like, oh, no way. So then my dad's talking to Ice-T, and I'm talking to Ice-T and stuff. And we're just like going back and forth, just talking about things. Then I was like, oh, I'm about to go play. If you want, just like kick it right here and stuff. And he's just like, yeah, we'll see what happens. So then I go and I tell him all my bandmates. I was like, bro, I just talked to Ice-T. Everybody from Body Count's here and stuff. And like, as metalheads, we don't really know Ice-T from being a rapper. We know him as Body Count. So they're like, oh, Body Count's there. Like, we have to crash it. We have to crush it. So then we get on stage. We smash the fucking stage. They were on the documentary and stuff. And it was just a surreal moment. Like I said, dreams do come true. And then after the set, we're just all kicking back and stuff. And he saw all of the bandmates thrash. And he's like, well, just follow us back to our spot, you know? So then we follow him.
No.
We go back to his spot. We're just chilling there, like chit-chatting. And then he's like showing us his studio that's in his house. And it's just being there, bro. Like, just as a kid looking around, like no way this is happening right now.
Facts,
and then
man.
afterwards, we just chill and stuff. Like, he got like some recordings, and we're just all there, like vibing, looking at his music and stuff. And then the bandmates were all driving home, and we get to our spots and stuff. And at the time, everybody in the band Subliminal, they were in Van Nuys, and I lived in Riverside, which is like an hour and a half away. So I go back to all my bandmates' house. I was like, all right, guys, tonight was sick. I'll catch you guys later. And I'm just driving home, and I'm just like halfway there, and I'm just like, I was in fucking Ice-T's house, bro. Like, I was on a documentary. Like, I got to hug Jeff Becerra, you know, like I touched his wheels on his wheelchair. Like, it was just a fucking surreal moment, bro. Like, and then there's just like so much like movie stars that were there too. Like, it's crazy how much people enjoy metal, but what everybody says about metalheads and what we all like look like and represent is like, oh, it all looks bad. But if you're in the environment, if you're in the community, if you're there vibing with everybody, it's such a different thing, you know? Like, everybody's cool with each other. Nobody, like, there's no hostility, no nothing. But just being there and being in the atmosphere and doing all that stuff, and then just like trying to soak it in afterwards, like it just doesn't work, you know? Like, to this day, I'm still like, oh, I actually did that, you know?
Yeah.
And I look up the videos on YouTube, and I'm just like, I'm fucking there, man. Like, I did that shit, and like I met them guys. Like, I shook their hand.
That is an awesome experience, man, for real. And big shout out to Ice-T. And I can only imagine he seems body count, yeah, like, cause they seem real cool just from what I've seen them on TV, and you know, just hearing their music. I can't imagine just meeting them and just having that moment. Like, that is awesome. Well, what about you, Niko? Any cool stories you want to share?
Probably just, I mean, honestly, probably most recent is collaborating with Steven Chirot from Kid Tracy. You know, collaborating with someone who's been managed by, you know, Sharon Osbourne, and awesome. That was just a really cool experience, and just to have him come to the studio. And that guy, he drove 3 hours, sat in traffic to meet us at the end of our session to record the chorus for Ain't Got No Time. I mean, that was so cool.
Shout out to him, man. Yeah, 3 hours for a chorus.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
It came out sick.
I mean, once again, I can't get people who live down the street to follow through, you know? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a really good friend of ours now too. So that was really cool. As far as collabs that we were working with, past stories. I mean, I don't know. It's been I don't know. as far as past stories, I can't think of anything at the moment.
Well, that's pretty cool right there, man. And I love that song too, by the way. Ain't got no time.
Yeah, I know, it's funny because it's kind of our oddball song, but you know, honestly, I love that song. We had a blast recording that shit in the studio because we had it all planned out, but there was so much improvising last minute. But it was the improvising that like worked. You know, we were cracking up. Mm-hmm. We're like, hey, it actually works. You know, let's go with that. You know,
I remember I think that whole session I told him to go, hey, I want to try something. Like, I'm gonna just see if it sounds okay. And he's just like, all right, man. And then I try it, and I tell him, I'm like, and he's like, yeah, actually, I like it, bro. We'll run with it. And I was like, let's go.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I think every band needs to have that one song, you know, where you just can have fun, you know, and that's what Ain't Got No Time was, you know. I knew it wasn't going to fit on the album, so I just decided to release it as a single because it's just a fun song, man, you know. It's a good time song, you know. I think every band needs that, you know.
Definitely, and I really do like that song too. That's actually my next go-to song when I'm on the treadmill. Honestly, it just keeps you moving, man. You just feel like you're in a good mood. Like, I ain't got no time.
Yeah, you know that song you gotta skip to. You know, you just
for real
in that mood.
Yeah, we of course we still kept it out to our at the end of the song we kind of keep it back to our metal roots, you know. So if you can get through the first two, I think that's under 3 minutes, right? 2:49, yeah. We go back to our metal roots at the end of the song too, so
gotta end on something heavy.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a really fun song, man.
Yeah, I mean, all your music, man, is just so fun, man. I really enjoy it, man. I know I said that quite
No,
often, but
man.
it's
Honestly,
just
man, thank you.
awesome, man.
We really appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
It's really refreshing to hear.
yeah, no problem. Every time I see you guys post something, man, I'm listening, I'm loving it, man, because it is just awesome. And we've talked about how you bring your personal life into your music, and we feel you, in the vocals. So, like, one thing I love to ask all of my guests that come on the show is, what's their favorite quote that they love to lean on during the good times or the bad times, or saying, because some people don't know how to quote people, like a quote person.
Yeah, you got me there, man. I don't know. Quotes.
I got three good ones.
All right, let's hear
it. My first one, that, because like I said, I'm a dad of 3 daughters, so like the bar is set pretty high for me. So my first one that I tell all my kids is, this too shall pass. No matter what you do, no matter where you go or how you present yourself, as long as like anything that you're going to, at the end of the day, this too shall pass. Anything that you go to, it's gonna pass. Like you're in a bad rut, you're doing something crazy, you're down, or you're just in a bad situation, it's gonna pass, Might not be now, might not be in a couple weeks, might not be in a couple hours, maybe in a couple minutes, but at the end of the day, it will pass. That's one of the main ones that I tell my daughters. One of the ones that my grandma, from me growing up as a kid, she's always told me, believe half of what you see and nothing of what you hear. Because anybody you can get something or you can hear something from someone, and if it gets to the next person, there's either something added, something's taken out. Nobody ever tells you the truth, So it's just, that is one of the big things that I've always lived my life by, because even just hearing it, like, believe half of what you see and nothing what you hear. You see something, but you never know if it's exactly what you thought, Like, you can see something and interpret it some way, but it could also be switched,
To me, I'm just the type of guy, I wake up, let's get through this shit, figure it
out. Hey, that's the quote right there. Like, I wake up, let's do this shit. Like that.
There we go. Let's do this shit.
I love that, man. I love that. And another thing I've been asking all my guests too, because I like my base questions, is this one I've been really driving hard is gratitude, because like I've been going through a lot of things in life. My world just kind of went like upside down, and it turned around, and I know a lot of people, like it's crazy. And then when I said that, a lot of people like, oh yeah. So gratitude has really been keeping me like just grounded. So I want to ask you guys, like, what are 3 things that you are grateful for in your life?
Honestly, man, just family, man. The shit I've been through the past 2 years, to just realize, just family is everything, because my family kind of, not to spill my personal life, but it went upside down. So once you see that deteriorate, it's you realize, the family you do have, you need to hold on to. It's really important, And and again, I take it, I bring that to my with creating music. I realize, that's what's important to me. Is not doing things for the right reasons. Now, creating music for, to pass our message along. To connect with others. And just yeah.
I think I'm extremely grateful for my daughters. My daughters have kept me positive. They kept my mind straight. They kept me on board with what I was supposed to do. Because if it wasn't for them, shit, I don't even think I would be in this band, to be honest with you. Like, my girls have guided me a good way. I'm extremely grateful for my girlfriend. She keeps me up. She keeps me on board too. She supports my music, which is a really big thing, because some couples, they don't really like supporting you all the way on everything you do. And I'm just glad she's there for my music. I'm glad for life, bro, and like medical marijuana, because god damn, sometimes, bro, if there's not a pit around, that joint fits just right.
That's what's up, guys. I love it. So where can all my peeps and new audience find you guys on social media and find your awesome music?
Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Apple Music, I think YouTube Music. I think everywhere but Pandora. For some reason, it didn't go live on Pandora. But yeah, pretty much all the
Breaking Serenity, yeah, that's all there. For me and my personal self, you can find me on Instagram, Sin Styles Fool or Sinister Styles Fool. On TikTok, I'm big on TikTok. Sin Styles Fool, if you guys want to follow me. I'm trying to get on YouTube. I'm trying to put my music on Spotify, my personal music, and my band Basilisk, which is, like I said, hardcore beatdown. That's about it so far. Yeah.
Awesome, man. That is awesome. And normally I always say, what some of the last words that you would like to say to the audience before I wrap up. But just hearing the passion and talking with you guys, getting to know you guys about just music and from the, the breaks you guys had to take to coming back to it. So I want to ask you guys, you both can either answer at the same time or one after the other, but what does music mean to you?
It's everything. It's deeper. And like I told you before, after taking that long break, coming back to it, it's when you do it, when you create music for the right reasons, you realize that's everything right there. It's not about, it's not about the money, the streams. I mean, I'm at this point in my life, I'm not doing this for money, fame. Do we want that? Of course we do. But yeah,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, it's just it's if I can get my message to somebody, and I can connect with people like you. I always tell people you have to define what success is to you. So just doing things like this, us here. I mean, to me, that's success right there. That's just being able to connect with people and getting the message out. So
that's a big thing. Music is everything, honestly. Music to me is motivation. If I'm having a bad day, or if it's like I'm in a rut or like something's going on and stuff, if I can listen to that one song that can pull me out of it, that's all I needed for the day. Sometimes, well, for me personally, if I can get a song with some heavy ass double bass and just a really long scream, I'm straight after that, But motivation and then just reaching the right audience. Yeah, the music that you do, you could be like, oh, this song is whatever's to me, like I'm not too sure if it's gonna reach somebody or if it's gonna get something, but you never know. That one song that you don't like is gonna hit somebody in the right tone, and it's just gonna clear their day. It's gonna change their mood. It's gonna almost like talk them out of something without you actually being present to talk to them, Like I said, and it goes back to me being so honestly sad that Chester died, because growing up being in where I was, it was just a hard time and just a hard spot. But listening to him and just hearing him scream and just pulls you out of it, it just completely changes your mind. Like everything that you're feeling from him, you're feeling in that moment, and then it changes you, pulls you out of wherever you're at, and then you're like, you know what? It's not that bad, Like if he was having a bad time and he could get his way through it, then probably I could get my way through it, Like this song is actually pretty dope, Or the aggressiveness is what people need to hear, or the sadness is what they need to hear. But music can actually pull somebody out and save somebody at the same time,
Definitely, man. Definitely. Those are some great answers, guys. And I mean, I'm just so honored to have you guys on the show again as we
thank you, man.
Wrap up.
Likewise.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. This is when Niko told me, he's like, yeah, bro, this guy, he has a podcast. You want to be there? I was like, bro, I'll be there.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. Cause I mean, this was such fun. Like, I can't believe an hour almost went by already. I'm just, what the hell? Like, I was just getting good. I was
I was like 10 minutes. Like he's cutting us off. He don't like us, man.
But any last message, or maybe you want to give shout out to anybody?
Yeah, shout out to Blue Rhymez, my family, the rest of the band can be here, and all of our fans, everyone that listens to us. It's a blessing, man. It really is.
Shout out all of our fans. Shout out Room 9 in Redlands, California. They're the ones that engineer all of our music. A big shout out to them. Shout out to Jay for processing our music. He's one of our engineers. Shout out to I always forget his name. What's his name?
You want me to cut that part out?
That one guy. All right.
The one guy that was there. Big shout out to him. He owns Blue 9. Shout out to all the people that we work with, all the new fans that are coming, the people that we reached to. This is all for you. We're doing this because shit, we just fucking love music. We know other people love music.
Thank you again, Alvin. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys, man. Like I said, awesome band, awesome music, and awesome people, man. Breaking Serenity, y'all.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
No problem, y'all. We are out, brothers.
All right, man.